Good morning, polar bears. How's it going, y'all? It's December 11th, 2020. Welcome to another episode of Forensic Science with your host, me, Mr. B. Just wanted to say happy Friday. You are very close to Christmas break. We are jumping back into some BloodStain science today. And before we hop in, I just wanted to remind you, a lot of y'all did a really good job of emailing me and just letting me know that any missing grades you had, and I think it helped most of y'all's grades. It helped anybody who emailed me. I know it helped your grade. So again, if you have missing grades, email me. Let me know once you have completed those assignments. Okay, I wanted to do a quick review because we're gonna break some bloodstains down. So we have our two photos over here. First things first. Oh, goodness, I gotta move this again. Give me a sec. Okay, our first one is our parent drop. That's our main drop, y'all. This is the the daddy drop, right? It's a parent drop for a reason. It's gonna be the biggest drop, the main drop here in this top photo. Again, it's this one right next to the star. In this bottom photo, it's that, it has the meat of the blood stain. The satellite spatters, those are those tiny spatters that are all around the blood stain. They're going to be, depending on the shape of the blood stain, they might be in this shape. They might be more like little circles that are, again, they're kind of around the main drop, the parent drop. If they're more in an oval shape, notice how there's only really one, and we'll see it later. There's only one of them if it's more of an oval shape. Notice if it's a round shape, there's one, two, three, four. There's a lot more than just one, right? So these satellite spatters start decreasing if it's coming at an angle and forming those long oval shapes. Our spines, those are coming from the main drop, coming from the parent drop. And those are those lines that connect our parent drop to the satellite spatters. And again, if there's only one satellite spatter, then there's going to be most likely one spine, one tail, right? And that is going to tell us which direction the blood traveled in. So this is just really cool website I wanted to show y'all. I don't think you'll be able to access this, but I still want y'all to see this website. It's really cool. So last we were talking about blood drops falling and making some blood stains, whether it's on carpet, whether it's on a desk, whatever it may be. Depending on the angle that it falls in, it forms a different shape of blood stain. So if a blood stain or a blood drop falls straight down, it's going to create a certain shape. If it comes in at an angle, it's going to create a different shape. So here's the first one. Notice how on the bottom left, it tells us it's going to show us a couple different angles of where that blood drops fall in. So the first one is a 90-degree angle. That means it's falling straight down, right into, let's say, a carpet. And so when this falls, check out the blood stain. It's very circular. It's basically a circle. It has a couple of spines forming, a couple of satellites. Notice the spines are kind of building a little bit. The satellites are the little dots all around it. But look how it's just round, it's big, it's fat. It's a fat drop, blood drop. And it's just very circular. Now, I'm going to click on the 70 degrees. So it's going to come at a slighter angle. Notice the change here. Notice how it's fallen from this way. And some of the spines, the sides over here become a little wider. They become bigger. And notice how these, the direction from which the blood came from, the blood drop came from, they get a little smaller, or they stay about the same. And our blood drop starts to kind of, it's still pretty much a circle, but it starts kind of slowly It's a little more distorted. It's changed a little. Okay, now I'm going to click on the 60. So now it's coming at an even sharper angle. And notice now we're on the back side, right here on the bottom side from the direction it's coming from. It's basically a circle. There are no spines anymore here. And then is it still a circle? Is our blood drop still a circle? No, it's circular, but it looks a little more changed, right? It's kind of wider. It's more of an oval. And check out, it's starting to kind of get messier on this side, honestly. Okay, next one up. This is at a 45-degree angle, even sharper. And now we're going the other way. Well, look at that. It starts forming more spines. The satellites are a little further out, right? The satellites are the smaller circles are a little further out. And notice it's even getting stretched out more. Picture like clay, right? You stretch out clay, you can pull it apart. It's more of an oval shape now. And the last one here, this is the sharpest angle we have here. Look at that. It kind of looks like an exclamation point. So once it's at a very sharp angle, there's going to be one single satellite, one single bar drop. And it kind of looks like an exclamation point, like I said, right? That's going to be our satellite. Our entire blood drop, the main part of our blood drop, is fully stretched out. It's fully an oval. And so again, we kind of covered this a little last week, but I really wanted to show y'all, and we'll have a couple questions on this as well. So use this to help you out on those questions. Let's say we have our spine here, right? And then we have our satellite at the end of our spine, right? This little dot is our satellite. This tail is our spine. That this blood drop is showing us a blood stain or a blood drop coming at an angle. It forms the blood stain we have below. Now, which direction did it come in? We want to find out. Well, notice how I have my parent drop here. Again, I have my tail going that way. The direction of the tail, where it's pointing, is going to actually tell me which direction it was coming from. So again, kind of picture this tail as being an arrow, right? An arrowhead. So, okay, the tail's on this side. That means the blood stain came from the left side and hit the carpet or the ground at an angle. Okay, what happens if we flip it? Right, this time our long, elongated blood stain, right? It's coming at an angle. It's long, it's oval looking, it has a spine and a satellite drop. It kind of looks like a tail. We also can call it a tail when it's in this shape. Which direction does it go? Or which direction is it coming from or going towards? So is it going to the left? Is it going to the left? Is it going to the right? It's actually going down, right? It's, again, this tail is kind of like an arrowhead. It's pointing down. That means it was coming from the top right. Then it hit the carpet. So again, that's super important. It's going to help us out a lot. And why is this important? Well, investigators can use these characteristics, y'all, in order to help them solve crimes. How do they do this? Well, they create mock crime scenes. And, they wear all these outfits that we've talked about, right? They're all decked out in these outfits. They don't want to get dirty, even when it's a mock crime scene. So a mock crime scene is when you create a fake crime scene. And these are created from, you use cardboard, you use dummies, you use knives, you use I also put like a deep imagination, right? Because you got to either just make one up, or you can also try creating other ones, but usually it's just a made up crime scene. And why do we do these? So why do we use mock crime scenes? Well, first off, it's going to help detectives. It's going to help them improve their skills. improve as detectives. It's going to help them, when an actual crime scene comes, they're going to know exactly what to look for. And really, it's going to tell them how blood behaves, right? We've been breaking down blood. Again, you're taking this, you're learning about this in middle school. Some detectives, they don't even learn about that once they're actual detectives. Somebody has to come in and teach them. Just like the lady in the video you are going to see, or I think you've already seen. So again, blood has its own characteristic. It's kind of like you, it's kind of like me. It behaves a different way depending on how it lands, how it feels at that point, at that moment. And you might be wondering, well, wait, Mr. B, is that paint? Is that do they use real blood? What's going on here? And well, honestly, they use animal blood, right? So they'll flick and they'll throw animal blood all throughout, and it's really they don't just throw it wherever. They're trying to form something. They want the detective to figure out, well, for this crime scene, there was a gunshot of sorts.
Armed with the new information, it's time to work a crime scene. Paulette makes the scenes as realistic as she can, but not so tough that they'll completely stump the investigators.
They've got a good mix-up of different stains to start pulling the patterns out. A really bad assault is a bad mishmash of a lot of different things happening, and that's not where you learn. You learn starting with the not so mixed up.
This is no CSI, as seen in the popular TV show. There's no fancy blue mood lighting, only harsh fluorescence. The coveralls hide whatever fashion statements these officers might be trying to make. And let's face it, they are investigating cardboard boxes, but they're taking it very seriously.
So there's 3 different types of blood spatters that we have here. Coming to the scene a few days ago, they all look the same to me.
Paulette cautions her students that blood spatters are not a smoking gun. There are always alternative explanations for things.
You could shoot someone and not have any blood at all on you. You could beat someone and only have a limited amount. You could pick someone up and carry them to a car to get first aid and have blood on you and still not get yourself convicted erroneously.
Having said that, these students have been paying attention.
And it's just getting way along. As you get your spatter and you get the ups and downs.
They've been able to work their way through most of the crime scenes with reasonable accuracy. Of course, there were a few stumbling blocks.
We can't find anything that substantiates a throat laceration.
But as Paulette points out, that's one of the realities of crime scene investigation.
The other thing that we hopefully have been able to teach them is don't overreach. What you can't prove, you can't say.
The directional change, the body could not have placed with active arterial gushing, could not have went from here to here and pumped back in this direction.
It's not known how many times bloodstain analysis has been used to convict a person, but to Paulette, that's not what counts.
We're not in it to convict, we're not in it to exonerate. We're in it to find the scientific proof that helps a jury make the right decision.
What is clear is that she loves what she does.
Sometimes it's hot, nasty, tiring work, but there's a different puzzle. And the puzzle doesn't end when I leave the office. It doesn't end until I get it solved.
Okay, next thing here, y'all. What I want you to think about, right, when blood falls, right? Let's say I'm really close. Here's a ruler, right? And blood's dripping from my finger. Blood's dripping from my finger. The closer I am to the desk or the surface, the smaller the blood stain is. So if I'm really close to the desk, then it's going to be the blood stain, blood drop's going to be a certain size. If I start getting further away, right, as it gets higher and higher and higher, guess what? The blood stain starts getting bigger. So that's something really important to keep in mind. So this is just showing us again, as it gets further and further away from the desk, from the surface that it's fallen on, the blood stain gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The higher the blood drops, the larger the blood droplet. Pretty straightforward. But again, it still takes some time to make it connect, and no worries. And one last thing, I know we did cover this a bit last week, but the angle that the blood falls on the surface, it's going to affect the shape, right? If it's fallen straight, and you saw it before, you saw it happen in our little demonstration. If it's fallen from straight down, it's going to form more of a circle blood drop. And as it falls more at an angle, it's going to start becoming more of an oval. So that angle definitely affects the shape of the blood stain. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you enjoyed that cool website. I don't think y'all could access it, but again, it's really helpful. So please watch that portion of the video. Reach out to me if any questions, any concerns about grades, and I will see y'all next week, y'all. Peace. Have a great weekend.